I think he touched the ball, 5 or 6 times in the first half, and one of them was just to boot the ball out for a corner.
Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey Pod with Mike and Dan, and it's a Pompey Pod that will be in the Championship next season, Dan, because we are staying up after the Easter Bank Holiday weekend.
Hooray!
Hooray! Indeed, hooray!
Two wins.
2 wins, an away win, 5 goals
6
away
goals.
from home.
Yeah,
6 goals altogether. Colby gets 4 of them. Now, before we start with the Norwich game, which we'll do in a minute, please subscribe to our channel. Rumour has it that Michael Eisner has said he'll give £1 million to our transfer kitty for next season for every new subscriber we get between now and the Sheffield Wednesday game. So we're currently on 785. So if you want to bolster those coffers for next season, then get subscribing to our channel, please. Right, let's do it, Dan.
He definitely said that.
No, I said rumour has it. Rumour has it.
Oh, rumour. Oh, okay, that's fair
I
enough.
can neither confirm nor deny.
No,
why
well
take
played.
the risk? That's
Yeah,
what
exactly. Well played. You can say whatever you like, can't you?
Yeah. So, Norwich. Let's talk about the Norwich game. Al-Shish was back in, which kind of disappointed me a little bit. But, let's talk about it. 8 goals. It's a goal fest. If you were neutral, you'd have loved it.
Yeah.
He did do all right against Norwich.
It's a silly game, wasn't it?
It was
a crazy
game.
Yeah. It was like one of those end of season, last game of the season type games, wasn't it? Where both teams had nothing to play for. That's what sort of game it seemed like.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought the way Norwich started, they started actually as if they did have something to play for, didn't they? Because they went for it from the start and literally ran at our goal from the kickoff, kind of peppered a few crosses in early doors, but defended like school kids. It was almost like they wanted to score, but didn't defend.
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? Good open game.
A very, very good open game. So there was, chances and chances, but we eventually took the lead. What did you think of the overall Pompey performance? Ultimately, you can only beat what's in front of you, and to score 5 goals away from home is pretty impressive. But Norwich were pretty poor defensively, weren't they?
They were. I just thought it was good to see us going forwards, especially away from home. We looked really good going forwards. And I think I said to you, didn't I? Even when we'd scored 4 goals, I can still see us getting more. We looked like we could go on and get quite a few goals, didn't we? So yeah, it was good.
It's almost like
good, especially the first half.
Yeah. It's almost like we could score every single attack, wasn't it? It's every time we attacked, and same with them to a degree. I think we defended slightly better than they did, but not a massive amount more. But yeah, let's talk about some individuals. Obviously, Colby Bishop, first ever professional hat trick for him.
Wow, wowzers!
Not bad guy.
You wouldn't think so, would you? Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't think that was his first.
That also puts him on 10 goals for the season, 10 championship goals. Didn't play until November due to having heart surgery. Can we now put to bed that he is the player who should be playing for us and not the donkey that some people make him out to be?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what the stats were, but before the Norwich game, or was it just after the Norwich game, they showed the stats of Bishop since he's come back, points per game compared to what it was before. I know we did have a hard start to the season anyway, so probably slightly in his favour anyway. But yeah, I think he's done pretty well. He's now our top scorer as well, isn't he, this season?
Yeah.
After the game at the weekend. Sorry, the Bank Holiday Monday game.
And it takes some balls to actually kind of, once you missed a penalty in the previous game, to actually go and take the next available penalty and smash it in.
Yeah, did very well.
Let's talk through his goals. So first one was across.
And sorry, I was going to say,
go on.
Perfect hat trick as well, wasn't it?
Yes. Header left and right, which I didn't realise at the time. But obviously, the third one was his left because it pulled back to him, wasn't it? But first one, Matt Ritchie cross. Ritchie pretty much had the whole freedom of Norwich to cross that ball into the box, didn't he? And then if Bishop hadn't scored, he probably would have. I think was it Murphy just beyond him that could have possibly tapped it in anyway.
Yeah.
So that was 1-0. We then conceded what I would say is a pretty sloppy goal because we defended the corner just before that pretty badly, and then we did it again for their goal, allowing a ball to bounce in our 6-yard box is pretty criminal from a professional point of view, I think.
And you can't leave a player like Angry Ginge unmarked in there.
He was quite angry, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Angry Ginger American. He doesn't look American, does he?
No. Much.
You would put him down as a typical Yank. But yeah, he got them back into the game. They could have actually scored just before we went ahead. They actually had a really good chance to score with their 13-year-old. I think he was playing right back at the time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fisher, all at the far post, and he just didn't seem to have any real commitment to his header, did he? And
no,
straight Schmid. But then I think we kind of deserved then to take the lead, didn't we? Richie got it in the end, but good work again from Murphy.
Yep. Yeah. Another couple of assists, wasn't it, in that game?
More
which put him up there with the top 3 in the Premier League and Championship. Did you see that?
Oh, was he top 3 overall? I knew he was top of the Championship assists, but I didn't realise.
Well, I saw two other names mentioned, and they were two Premier League players. So I'm assuming that means he was the third out of the 3. I can't remember who the players were. Who were they?
Third in the top 2 divisions. Not bad going.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Would it be? I don't know.
I'll remember when you tell me.
Yeah, I can't even think. Is it Bro up there? No, maybe not.
Who? I don't know. No. Yeah.
No, possibly not. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, 13 now for the season. 13 assists, 7 goals. It's not a bad return.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
When you also think early doors in the season, first handful of games, I'd say we were a little bit jury was out, wasn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, we said that a few times, didn't we? That he seemed a bit lightweight. Couldn't really get into the games, could he? Certainly wasn't running at players like he does now and getting crosses in.
And more often than not, his crosses are pretty decent, aren't they? There's a few wayward ones that go a bit too close to the goalkeeper, but in general, I think he's doing all right. He's doing all right, the Murphy boy. The only concern, I suppose, is if a big offer comes in for him in the summer, is what sort of offer it would take for us to go, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we will.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Because it'll be a few million, wouldn't it, the offer? So.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's got to be
sort of between 3 and 5, maybe even that much.
Well, I was going to say it's got to be 5 or more, isn't it? We can't accept 3 million for him because we can't replace him.
Can't we? That's the thing.
Well, if you think Abu Kamara went for 4.5 to Hull, we've got. I know it's different because the age. Kamara's 21 and growing, but you could say that Murphy really has kind of come into his own over the last, towards the tail end of Oxford season last year, and then this season with Pompey, got to be 5 or more, isn't it? No.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're comparing it against Kamara, 4.5 million for him, you'd pay at least 5 for Murphy, wouldn't you?
You'd think so. You'd think so.
And I don't think we would turn that down.
I don't think we would. I don't think we would either. I don't think
the club. I mean, not me personally, but the club.
Yeah, you'd stand fast, wouldn't you? Yeah. Okay. So, let's hope it doesn't. Because he does. To be fair as well, I think he seems to be loving life down at Fratton Park. I don't know what sort of money he's on, but I imagine he's on fairly decent money considering he came on a free. So let's hope he does stay. Anyway, there's one thing in that game that there's one criticism I'm going to have is this. Now, when we were 4-1 up, their second goal, I thought, came directly from a massive amount of complacency from us.
Yeah, it was Dazelle, wasn't it? Particularly.
Dazelle and Al-Shish, I think it was. They were just doing little passes in the midfield.
Getting a bit cocky.
Area, a little bit cocky, a little bit kind of, look at us, 4-1 up. And they broke away, scored immediately. Obviously, Ogilvy was caught well out of position because he was probably thinking we're going to launch another attack. They score 4-2, makes it a little bit more nervy. Nervy? Is that TH in there? No, it's a V. Nervy. Thankfully, Regan Paul then scored straight away. And the rest, as we know, that's that game done. Did you think at that point that's us safe? Away win, 3 games to go. Everybody else was doing all right at that time, weren't they? Everyone else seemed to be doing all right.
No, I didn't think that would make us safe. I thought we'd still have to beat Watford. Yeah, but it's certainly it was a massive help, wasn't it? Considering we don't expect to get points away from home, comparing any of our away games this season. So 3 points is massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we went to Watford. I was quite surprised we were completely unchanged against Watford because I thought, we've only played a couple of days before. I thought it would have been at least 1 or 2 changes. But no, completely unchanged. Now I'm going to caveat what I was saying about Al-Shish earlier. Obviously, I've been fairly critical of him. I think it was his best game against Norwich. But I did say to my son before the Watford game, be interesting to see how Al-Shish is today when he's playing against a team who aren't just going to stand off him or aren't going to just let him run in behind like Norwich seem to. And I'm going to say it. I thought he was atrocious against Watford.
He was particularly bad, wasn't he?
It was really bad.
I think he touched the ball, 5 or 6 times in the first half, and one of them was just to boot the ball out for a corner. So,
Oh, yeah, I'd even forgotten about that one.
Corner, yeah.
When there was no pressure on him whatsoever, he could have even turned around, couldn't he, and maybe even run away. But
yeah, it wasn't the best 45 minutes, was it?
No, and it's very rare for Mousinho to take somebody off at half time, but
and put Sadie on for 45 minutes.
Yeah. And he had to come off. I think that's a good move from. I was pleased that Mousinho did because he wasn't doing well. Okay, we won the game 1-0. We started really well, deserved to go in front. Other than that, it was a bit of a nothing game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Like you said, I thought we started off well. We did what we've done quite a few times this season at home is play well up until we score, and then it went a bit flat, didn't it, after that? But I thought we were good value for the win. I thought it didn't matter, did it at all? The performance, as long as we got the points, and it was an all right game. It was, but just nothing special, was it?
No. And again, to be fair to Watford, considering they had nothing to play for, they kind of went for it a little bit, didn't they? Not massively, because if you look at the stats, I think they had 3 shots to our 10. But But
I think BBC said they put us under intense pressure towards the end, but I can't remember that at all. I don't think there was any intense.
I don't remember that.
Had a couple of corners, didn't they? But,
I remember us being pretty much in their corner flag for at least 5.
Oh yeah, that was the best bit. Yeah, did well there.
Just between Richie, Sadie, and Devlin, wasn't it? I think the 3 of them just kind of
just kept it for a couple of minutes, didn't they? Very good.
Stick it in the corner. Keeper was a bit flappy, wasn't he?
Yeah. He'd already flapped at a couple, and and came out and punched one where it was sort of chest height, easy catch, wasn't it? But
it seems strange. Like you say, even the comfortable ones seem to be like, oh no, there's no way I'm catching this. It's going out. But that ultimately ended up being the downfall because what looked like a relatively comfortable catch as well. Or, in fact, strangely enough, that's one of the few that he tried to catch, wasn't it? And then dropped it onto Bishop's head, not once but twice.
Yeah, and it didn't look like a particularly difficult one to catch either, did it?
No.
It wasn't the best cross.
No, it wasn't. Good that Bishop's finishing the season strongly, though. It looks like he could be out for the next one with a bit of a knock.
Well, they seem to be, him and Murphy seem to be walking around the pitch okay after the game. So,
do they?
Yeah. Williams, not so much. I think Williams is.
No, Williams is. They've already said he won't play again this season. Isn't he?
Yeah. So he didn't look particularly happy. But yeah, Murphy and Bishop. I don't know whether it was a bit of cramp. Well, I thought Bishop looked like his hamstring, didn't it, when he first did it? And I thought, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
He just pulled up straight away, but then he came back on for a few more minutes. So
yeah, I was surprised that they kept him on, and then obviously he went off about 3 minutes later, didn't he? If that. Bearing in mind he did get a knock against Norwich as well, you'd have thought, we're 1-0 up. Let's just see out the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah, 2 big games in 4 days.
Yeah, give Yengi another chance to show what he can showcase his.
I thought actually he tried. He didn't do too bad when he came on. He tried. He was really unlucky with that one where he went clean through and the guy just fell over.
Oh yes, yeah, that's right.
Which makes it even worse that Cleverley was moaning about the red card because he obviously forgot about that incident where Yengi was clean through and the guy just dropped to the floor and the ref just went, oh yeah, it's a foul. I think because it was a few minutes after the red card as well, wasn't it? So I thought, you've given the red card, so
can't do 2, can you? Do 2.
Yeah.
Well, did you think it was red?
Well, it's over the other side of the pitch to me. I thought it was a red at the time. I've only seen one replay from behind, and it still looks like a foul to me. But I think Watford seemed quite upset about it. And a few Pompey fans have said it looked a bit harsh. Sort of people that were sat over that side. So maybe it wasn't as bad as I first thought. But I thought it looked like a foul.
I thought it was a foul. I thought it was a foul. It's one of those. It's one of those whereby probably 15 years ago it's not a foul because he does get something on the ball, but he also gets something on the player, and that at the end of the day is a foul, isn't it? That's how it looked to me anyway. And I think it's his own downfall. If you look, the player didn't. I think the key thing for me is if you look at how the player reacts instantly. He's kind of a little bit annoyed, but he doesn't put up that much of a fight. It's
All
not
right.
as if he's kind of really kicked off, did he? As if to say, "Oh, come on," isn't it? He just kind of like a little bit frustrated and then just walks straight off.
Yeah.
It's also his own downfall as well, wasn't he? All he had to do is clear the ball. He had a fairly simple header to cleared it straight against Murphy. Murphy's then clean through. And I
Yeah.
think he's just lunging a little bit. I think I think he might just get a toe end on the ball, but I think he also kind of went through Murphy to get the ball. So I think it's a red.
Yep.
Fair play to the referee for giving it as well.
Yeah.
I want to talk. So before we come on to Freddy Pots, Freddy Pots been superb the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had that really good period, didn't he? And then he sort of quietened. He had a couple of games where he got injured, didn't he? Did he get injured?
Yeah.
Or did he get? Yeah, he got injured.
Yeah.
He came back, was a little bit quiet, but yeah, last two games, yeah,
Been
really
superb.
good, really good. Yeah, and I think
Orchestrating things, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing him again next season. I think.
Do you think he'll play Premier League?
If not, I think the same thing will happen as this season. A bigger Championship club might come in for him, get him on loan, similar to what happened with a couple of our players that we thought we might get this season. Hopefully not. I mean, if he is going to stay in the Championship, hopefully it'll be with us.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go somewhere else.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. And how did you feel? Lang and Shockley both on the bench, both got on the pitch towards the end. Only had a few minutes each, but that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, especially Lang. I was saying to my brother that for all our injuries this season, which we've had just so many horrendous, terrible injuries, and we were slagging off the training ground, and there must be something going on at the club for us to have so many injuries. We do seem to get players back quicker than we'd expected. You've had obviously Bishop came back when we didn't expect to see him at all this season, and he's played 20 games or whatever. And then there was Lang. I think there was somebody. Who else was there before? Oh, there was Shockley. We thought he was out for the season, didn't we?
Yeah.
He was out for the season.
Some people would tell you he was being sold in January, wouldn't
oh, well, that was that. Yeah. He came back. I mean, he's come back surprisingly. He got injured. We thought he was out again for the season, then he's come back again.
And Atkinson, I suppose, is back a little bit quicker than we thought, wasn't
he? Yeah.
But then you also have to think there's also occasions whereby I think the Williams is probably the most notable example of where has he come back too early, because obviously he's now back out with the same injury for the rest of the season. So hopefully not. Okay, so we're staying in the Championship down, which is good. And we've done it, as you say, with a whole bunch of injuries. I don't follow other teams that much in the Championship or otherwise, but I don't know of any other teams that have so many key injuries. Surely, we've had different centre back pairings for the majority of our games. We've had a centre midfielder playing there for most of it.
Yeah, I think everyone gets injuries, don't they? But I think surely we must have had. I mean, you could probably name 15 players off the top of your head that have gone out injured this season.
Yeah.
Other teams have that bad.
Go on. And Mousinho, obviously, bearing in mind as well, October, November, December, most of that we were not only in the bottom three, we were rock bottom of the league for quite a while.
Yeah.
I have to say fair play to the higher management for sticking with Mousinho. I think they always, even if we'd gone down, that was always going to happen. But if you think 14, because obviously Norwich sacked their manager after our game, so 14, and so did Cardiff at the weekend as well. So now 14 of 24 managers. 24 teams have replaced their manager this season.
Yeah.
We are the lowest ranked team not to replace our manager. And we could even finish as high as, something like 14th?
Yeah, 14th.
Possibly even 30th. Unlikely.
Yeah.
Possibly 30th, but...
well, we could finish 12th, couldn't we? Watford, we're 4 points behind Watford.
And Watford lost 3 in a row.
Watford in 12, yeah. But, yeah.
So it's possible. It's just nice to be looking at that up the table rather than down, isn't it?
Exactly. And do you think last 2 games give some of the outsiders a go? Is that going to be one of your questions?
That was going to be one of my questions. I don't know. I think you've got to. There's 2 ways of thinking of it, isn't there? I think the final league game. I'll be surprised if Bishop plays in the next game. Bearing in mind the knock he's got, he'll probably want to play, because if Lang plays, Lang's going to want to try and get that top scorer. But I think Bishop will want to play. I think he won't. but I think we will play a full strength team for the final game of the season, purely because I think it's kind of like a celebration and say goodbye to the the summer or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if we rest a few against Wednesday.
I'm
maybe.
hoping Hull need points against us last game of the season, and they win and send Derby down. That'd be nice. So I'd rather Hull stay up Derby.
Well, they play Derby next, don't they? They play Derby next weekend.
It's a big game, isn't it?
So that's their kind of real 6-pointer. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think they might bring in a few? Maybe give Blair a game or something like that?
Maybe. Yeah, like I think he'll stick with the main group, but yeah, I think people like Blair might get a start. Who else have we got there? Omani. Is he fit?
Is he still around?
Yeah. So I think a few of them. Devlin might get a full game.
Yeah, perhaps.
Sadie in. But yeah, it's good. It's just nice that we're in that position now, isn't it? And what's the difference in positions? What do you get if we're 16th at the minute? If we end up a place higher, is that an extra billion a place or something? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I know in the Premier League you get £3 million every place higher you come. So obviously dropping down could be quite financially have a knock-on effect. But I was trying to find actually before we recorded the stats on that. Couldn't find anywhere. All it talks about is the amount of money that you get by winning the playoffs.
Okay.
That's the only thing they want to know, really. That's all they want to discuss. But you think so, wouldn't you? But I don't know if it's just a case of everybody from third down gets the same, apart from the playoff winner.
Yeah, don't know.
Who knows? Maybe even second down. Because maybe it's only the winner of the league gets more prize money, perhaps.
We're only 14 points off the playoffs, mate.
It could be done.
Yeah,
could be done. Well, here's a question for you. So, had Bishop not missed the first couple of months of the season, if we had 2 fit centre backs for the whole of the season, could we have potentially been there or thereabouts on the cusp?
I don't really read into the if we had that and this. I think I think you've still got to win games. I think even with Bishop, with that first 7 or 8 games, people adjusting to the league. Bishop would have had to adjust to the pace of the league and the power. So, and against those established teams that we played the first 7 games, maybe not. Maybe I didn't.
Okay.
Who knows? We could say that about penalties that we didn't get and penalties that have gone against us, etc. So
you're right. Yeah, absolutely. It's all if buts and maybes, isn't it? Okay, so we'll see. How do you think the final 2 games will go? Let us know in the comments. Do you think we'll mix it up, or do you think we'll play the strongest team? Where do you think we'll finish in the league? We could finish as high as 12th. Did we just say? Or 11th, 13th or 12th?
12th. We can finish.
We'll finish 12th. Let us know. But we are safe. Pompey are safe. We'll be back a little bit later in this week with a preview to the Sheffield Wednesday game at Hillsborough this weekend. But for now, please like, subscribe, give us a review on Spotify and all the audio channels. A 5-star one would be great. But we've been in Pompey Pod. Play Up Pompey. Win the championship next year. Goodbye.
Bye.